Welcome to another episode of All Thoughts, No Thirst. It's been a while since I got a chance to record. It's been busy the last couple weeks. School getting out, graduations, just life. As you can hear, I'm losing the fight with allergies. Um, it's been a busy couple of weeks just all over the world. I feel like just kind of getting up to speed with things. There was um, a awful crime committed here in my hometown. It was one of those things that brought a lot of awareness, but it also created a lot of division. Um, but one thing, I guess my only opinion on the matter is this: activism with no goal is simply excellent marketing. It's self promoting at that point. Um, Activism needs to have a goal. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, their goals were equality for people of color. They had two very different ways of going about that. One believed in peace, the other one was by any means necessary. Um, the problem with that is, um, how it was received. And I feel like a lot of people get lost. They get lost in the activism, so they never really find a goal. They don't have a goal, so the activism is lost or it becomes it's not as serious because there's no goal. Um, so the only thing I would tell anybody who is taking a stand against something, keep the main thing the main thing. If you are seeking to promote inclusivity and equality, stick to that. Don't get caught in the sidebar conversations, the he say she say gossip and all that stuff because it's a slippery road. It's very slippery. I do want to apologize for my appearance. I just left the gym, took a shower. Yeah, life is life in right now, but I'm clean. I'm here, and I just want to spend a few minutes talking about some stuff. Um, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we was kind of going back and forth about how the movie Baby Boy was really like it's kind of traumatic, and we treat it like it's some generational love story. Like there was not much love in that movie. It was lots of manipulation, narcissism, and all things nonsensical. And why is black love attached to some sort of trauma all the time? Um, I can't think of a black. There's only one movie I can think of where the love story is pure and it's not attached to any type of nonsense, and it's like Love Jones. And if you think of one, put it in the comments or shoot me a message so I know where to go to get this because I got to thinking about it. I said, dang, every black love story produced from like 90 in 1980 something to now, it offers some form of trauma, whether it's an identity crisis or you gotta flat out compete for this woman's affection. Love Don't Cost a Thing was one. It's like that movie was so far fetched. You had a high school girl dating a pro baller, falling for some dork at her school, and it was like y'all kind of all over the place here. And one of the things I really started to think about was why is black love attached to trauma? Why is that so entertaining? Like that shit is traumatic. That is traumatic. Like let's look at Jody from Baby Boy. We can say he was a good guy, but was he really? Jody was like 30 years old, living with his mom, no car, no real job. So he was a bum by today's standards. Um, and I think his mom was the real villain in the movie because it took a man coming into her life and saying, "Listen, this motherfucker got to go. He's a little too large. He's too grown to be around here like he is with nothing to show for it." Um, and then she started taking the steps because if Ving Rhames' character Melvin don't show up, then she's perpetuating the cycle. And I feel like Yvette, I love Taraji as an actress, but Yvette's character was she she didn't necessarily need Jody. I don't understand what it was about him that kept her around. Um, because the thing was is she had all the infrastructure she needed to live a happy, healthy life for her and her child. Like this man is nothing more than another child, right? That was fairly obvious, evident. You look at Jody's other baby mama, she's kind of having her way. She like, well, sure, if I can get the benefits and a babysitter, cool. Whereas, there was like a competition and we get suckered into that competition so easily. It's like, think about it right now. We all know some people that's probably in their 30s, late 30s, almost 40, who was like arguing over somebody who probably don't got insurance right now. They ain't got nothing but some kids. Um, and finger children are a reality. So it's like when women have kids, woman A has a child, woman B has a child, woman A says, "Oh no, not you're not gonna do this without me." And so now you got four kids that's all like the same age. That type of stuff is perpetuated from the cycle, and it's so weird to me because it's like that is traumatic. That is so traumatic. But we live, we learn, we grow out of it, whatever. But I just was thinking about that, like, dang, all black love in movies is traumatic, especially Baby Boy, because Jody and his homeboy Peanut, couple losers. This dude was laying around his girl crib, disrespecting her and her mom, playing video games all day. Like he's like an unruly 13-year-old that just so happened to be a gangbanger. That was wild. That was so wild to me. And he offered up the most terrible apology. Y'all unstable creatures. You let me stay here. You buy me nice clothes. Like nigga, go get a job. That's the best thank you can do. Contribute. Um, and then moving past that, why did Snoop's character still have access to Yvette? Like what? Why was he able to come home from jail and come to her house? Like, I don't know. That's where they lost me. And then the other misconception is that Yvette's coworker Pandora was a better match. I think she just simply was better looking. She made a very honest assessment early of Jody. She said, "I'm gonna sleep with him, and that's it, because he really has nothing else to offer me." She seen how poor he was, but she appreciated the aesthetics. I think was where her character was aimed, and for him to come up selling clothes, whatever. Okay, cool, whatever. Like, bro, you could have put a lot of this to rest by becoming a bricklayer. Anything, electrician, plumber. He could have became anything, anything. But you sitting in your room playing with cars, doing models, Tupac blasting with your baby mama car out front like it's yours. Then you put rims on her car when you could have just bought you a car. I don't know. Moving along, I don't like dwelling in that because people get mad, but and also I hate Tyrese, so that's part of it. I don't hate Tyrese. He's just not one of my favorite singers, but he's a good actor. I'll give him that. Uh, he needs to apologize. Like TGT needs another album, then I'll forgive him. Um, but you look at another movie like Love and Basketball. Like Shania Lathan's character was so far ahead of him, and it's like she circled all the way back to pick up the dude who probably his trajectory was faltered anyway because he experienced so much success early that it skewed his perspective of his reality was shot when he got injured or whatever. So he jumped to the league and all this that just for him to be the stay at home dad while she in the WNBA. Like, come on, bro, come on. You didn't like her. You didn't like her like she liked you. You took advantage of the amount of affection she had for you. But again, it's always trauma. She had to watch him have his way with all these other women. She had to watch him while they made a very beautiful woman look like a tomboy. That didn't work either. It was just like Jesus. Higher learning wasn't even a love story, but it was like a collision of like culture, college life. The girl dies. Omar Epps' girl dies. Um, The Wood wasn't very traumatic. The Wood was actually pretty good. I enjoyed The Wood. Nothing too traumatic happened. Other than Roland being drunk, that was great. Him throwing up in the truck, that was cool. The Wood would go over there with Love Jones. Love Jones to me was like, this is how love is gonna be if it's meant to be. Like this is the love you kind of. This is the love I would like to experience. I'll say that. That's the love. Like where we meet, we hit it off, but we not quite sure what's gonna happen next. Then we fall off, but come back, and we come back better. Now they had some struggles. They both kind of explored other options, but I think their hearts were always with one another for Love Jones. I'm not gonna touch Tyler Perry movies. He have we ever had a good strong male black lead in it? Oh, Daddy's Little Girls. Why Did I Get Married was a complete. Does that movie scared me because I was like, so this is what marriage is like when you 40 with married friends. Y'all just all lying and hiding your trauma, whatever. But yeah, and it's like, dang, so let's not go. Soul Food was another one. It's pure trauma. Like cousin Faith was, as she. That's not even her fault for real because that's on Michael Beach. That was on him. He should have never allowed himself to get to that point of infatuation with his wife's cousin. But a neglected man is a desperate man, and a neglected, desperate man is undisciplined. So he had some juice to get out. Like he had to get that out of his system. Um, Another example, I think a good recent example of a pure love would be the love story in Sinners, Michael B. Jordan and the girl I can't think of her name, uh, the Creole lady. I thought that was so unique because they shared a loss, but managed to love through it. That to me is, what love should be about. It's overcoming. It's kind of overcoming. Um, yeah, and moving forward, like into what some people consider a soft life, it's like I see the soft life. Women say, "Oh, when a man is gonna, push me into my soft life." Listen, you either live in a soft life already, or you live in a no. You either a no limit soldier or you a soft life. Like there's no in between. Now I get it. At times you gonna have to assert yourself, hold it down, handle your business. Cool, cool, do that. But it is not my responsibility as a man to get you to behave in a manner that's perpendicular to your mindset. So if you are a pit bull between the ears, it's eventually gonna come out of you. So I don't care about all that soft life stuff, the videos, the reels, the TikToks. I know you down in there. I know Mia X is down in there. Or Silk the Shocker. Matter of fact, you probably sound like Mystical when you get mad and get to cussing. So the soft life is simply it's an option. And as a man, I feel like getting in touch with your emotions can create a soft life for you. You don't see men. We don't talk about the soft life. We just kind of live. Like you can tell a dude that's completely chill versus the dude that's looking for something because their behavior is so. One is more introspective. The other one's out. Completely external. Everything's external. He's looking for the next function, the next woman, the next car, shoes, whatever. Whereas the guy that's kind of living the softer life is like, let me read a book. Let me reconnect with my childhood. Let me get my health together. Let me go to the doctor. Let me go to my therapist. Those are signs of a soft life in a man. Um, and I think that to tie it all together, like I would like to see more examples of the soft life. Like, can we get a soft life movie couple? Like that would be great. Just two, people of color. This is just my personal opinion. I don't have nothing against the community, nothing at all. Rainbow people, y'all good with me. I don't have a heaven or hell to put you in. That's not my lifestyle. But my preference is, heterosexuality. So can I get a black couple that love each other and they just experience life together? I know that's a bad. It's not gonna make a good movie, but Jesus, can we just get a little bit more of that? I would like to see more of that because I'm tired of seeing black people in movies, or people in movies, and it's like love is just a complete disaster most of the time. So yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I have also really been kind of staying in my intentional phase, and it's paying dividends. I say that. Being intentional about the energy I want around me, or the energy I want around, or the energy I want to receive versus the energy I give out. Intentionality is everything. I've been more intentional about my health, my eating, um, you know, my love life for the nosy people. Still not really much of a love life, but it's pretty peaceful now. It's very peaceful. It's very introspective. So I do a lot of self work. Um, I'll say this: when you're not sleeping with a bunch of women, but like in conversation with a bunch of women, you don't really have an opportunity to really focus, because you really just, it's almost like the scene from I'm gonna go back in time here, the original Willy Wonka, when the little dots was all floating across, when TV Mike was into the little dots. It's like sticking your hand into them dots, and whatever you come down with is what you get to focus on for that moment until the moment evaporates. Whereas being intentional, you don't have those scatter moments because things are more fluid. It's the conversations is fluid conversation, because it's only one conversation being had, and that's the goal. Because how can you know? You can't decide if five people are going to be not the one. I think you should just take your time and go one at a time. Is what I kind of learned. I'm not knocking the people who are doing their thing. Do your thing, by all means, do your thing. But I didn't want to. I think I got to a space in life where I just was like, I don't want to be 45, a perennial bachelor, and you know, of little value in a relationship. Um, because a goal, I wouldn't even say a goal, but something I'd like to experience is a healthy, loving relationship, marriage, all of that. No more kids, though. No, 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 no. We can raise a dog, we can raise a lizard, we can raise a few fish, but children? Mm-mm. I got grown kids. I got two grown children and an 11-year-old. A baby right now would be, no, I'm not ready for that. I don't, I'm in a good place. A baby would take me to a dark place real fast, because that's a lot of stress. I think so much differently now. But, I don't make the rules, God does. So if he was to tap my life and say, hey, this man needs a baby, it would confirm that God has a sense of humor. But the spirit of obedience would take over, and we would raise a child together. But I say all that to say that, intentionality is the key. So if anyone from Hollywood ever watches this, can we please get a positive black screenplay, or just something that's not trauma filled, or rooted in hypocrisy, um, not hypersexualized and under emotional. Like I don't know. Hollywood has lost its originality, but I kind of understand why, because the attention spans aren't there anymore. Like, we used to look forward to going to the movies, where now they're not really making movies; they're making series, which I enjoy. I can enjoy a good series. I'll binge watch a series or two, but the storytelling is rich. Being able to experience stuff like that. And I'm looking forward to having some guests here soon. I think here in about 3 or 4 more episodes, I got some guests in mind, so I'll be sending out some invitations here soon. And hopefully, I got a very special one coming up. Where I'm gonna do the top five dead or alive, with some good friends of mine. And we gonna talk. We gonna talk our talk. But I thank you for taking your time to listen. The allergies are winning, so I need to medicate. I'll be back soon with another episode. Keep fighting allergies, and have a positive day, week, moment, life. Peace.